Welcome back to True for Amazing Podcast. I am your host, Alicia, and today I want to talk about something that people really underestimate, which is manifestation when you are scaling your business. Because I feel like a lot of guru tell you that you need to focus on strategy, on content strategy, what is your offer and everything. But sometimes we forget that strategy for me is just 20% of your growth, especially in your journey. And sometimes we need to have the good mindset and the good manifestation when we don't see the evidence that is working for us. And for that, I am not alone to talk about that. I am so excited to have this specific guest because she is amazing. She has amazing energy. So it's Christine Michel. And thank you so much, Christine, to come and to talk with me about this topic.
Well, first, thank you for having me. And I 100% agree. That's why I call it the woo plus the do, because both are required. But really, your mindset is 80, 90% of it. And so I can't wait to talk about it.
So can you introduce yourself for people who don't know you yet? Because I feel like people need to know you. And because you are amazing, you need to see her Instagram. She delivers so much value and so much energy. I love that.
Well, thank you so much. Well, I'm Christy Michelle. I am a best-selling author of The Aligned Receiver, and I'm the CEO and founder of The Aligned Soul. It is a transformation brand that is all about helping women be quantum queens and bad and bougie leaders who can really integrate the frequency of fame, fortune, and fulfillment. And so when you can have fame, you can have fortune, but if you don't have fulfillment in there, bringing it all together, then you're not really having that total amazing life that you want to live. And I love what I do because I coined it the woo and the do. I love to bring in superpower, your spiritual power, your personal power together in with your moving, taking the action and doing the things that you need to do strategically. I was a former 20-year corporate executive. I worked for the likes of Coca-Cola Company in Atlanta, Georgia, and with Victoria's Secret in New York City. And so I've had 20 plus years of corporate experience, and I love to infuse that with my coaching, transformational development, and everything that I do. So I'm so happy to be here, so happy to have this topic and talk about it with you because it really does make a very, very big difference in how you show up.
I love your background, and I love that what things that you say that I really love is you say it's nice to have the money and it's nice to have the abundance, but if you don't embrace and you're not fulfill, you can have a lot of money, but it mean nothing. And this one, I feel like, is so true because when you see on the online space, you see, oh, this coach can make 10K, 100K. It's all about the money, but we forget that we don't do just that for the money, especially when we love what we are doing and we have a purpose. It's not just about the money. Of course, money is good, but to see, for me, it's like to see my client to have the transformation is even more better than the money.
Yes, because like we get to have the fame. Yes, we get to have that fortune and get to have the money. But if you're not fulfilled and you're not happy with your life, if you're not having the relationships and the friendships and the joy, then you're not really living. And what we get to remember is that when you're fulfilled, you make the money and you become famous as a byproduct to the fulfilled life. And so when you put everything in the right order, then it all happens, but it happens like together.
So my question is, so for example, when people come to you and say, okay, Christine, you tell me that I need to be fulfilled, but for example, in my life right now, I don't see that. So how I can start to embrace that? Of course, I want to be fulfilled, but of course, I want to have also the money to say, oh yes, I can be fulfilled because yes, of course, I need to be in the frequency of abundance, but right now in my life, I see nothing.
Oh, that's such a good point. Okay. So first of all, we have to remember that even fame and fortune, even money, it's all energy. But fulfillment is an energy. You get to choose to be fulfilled. You can choose to be happy without evidence of anything to make you happy. It's really a choice. And so when we say in my life, things are happening that don't feel exciting, I mean, trust me, I have some things happening in my life. My sister is having some health things going on. And so it's not like happy, happy, joy, joy all day, but I'm choosing that I get to be fulfilled. I'm choosing that I get to love what I'm doing. And I'm choose to feel happiness through the day and choosing to have a positive outlook on things. It's all a choice.
Mm-hmm.
When you choose that and you choose to show up for yourself, for your business every single day, then the fame and fortune meet you as a byproduct. But if you are saying, I need fame or I need fortune before I decide to be fulfilled, you won't have it either way, or you'll get it and it'll feel very empty.
It's so true. I love what you are saying that because I feel like it's really about the story that we make about our reality. As you say, you can choose to say, oh, I have this one is happened in my life, so it's mean it's not working for me, maybe it's not for me. Or you can say, oh, it's happened for me, maybe I need to learn a lesson. And I can transform these stories that I have to say, oh, I will show to my audience that why now I am like you. I have this problem and I keep showing up because I know that my future is better. And I feel like that we don't talk about so much that in the online space because we only see overnight success. But this one is very important. What you say is like we need to choose, we have the power to choose that we can be fulfilled even if right now we don't see the evidence because otherwise we give the power to outside.
Yes, that's what the big thing is. And that's why it's when you see someone that is successful, but they're also living a fulfilled life, it's important to remember that you can do any strategy and get the same thing, right? Any strategy can work. I love the story. There's a story about there was this 19-year-old girl. She had just gotten into like the coaching industry or whatever. And she was in a room with like 37 millionaires.
Mm-hmm.
And she went to ask each one, like, how did you become a millionaire? How did you become a millionaire? And she got 37 different answers.
Mm-hmm.
And so she was like, well, it's not about the strategy that took them there. It's about who they were being. And that's the important thing. Like, who are you being? And so what she did was she said, okay, they all have a confidence about them. They have this conviction. She's like, I'm going to decide that I have this confidence. I'm going to walk with my head held high. I'm going to remind myself this is $1 million me. And so she did that every day, every hour. She was tapping in. She had a reminder on her phone, $1 million me, this is who I am. And guess what? In 6 months, she ended up making $1 million in her business. And it really wasn't about the strategy. Yes, she showed up. Yes, she created like the pathways for the money to flow. Yes, she did the strategic things, but it really was her energy because she decided that she was the millionaire before the $1 million came. You see? And
Yeah.
so that's why it's so important to not look for external to give you permission to be powerful, to claim your success, to decide that you know what you're doing, to show up powerfully. You've got to give it to yourself
Mm-hmm.
and show up every single day in that energy because no one else is going to crown you queen. Like Beyonce had to be in her Sasha Fierce energy before she really was big, Beyonce, right? Sasha Fierce came before Cowboy Carter, and so when you decide that you are going to be that icon, that person, you're going to show up, you're going to be happy, you're going to be joyful, you're going to enjoy the entire journey, that's when it starts to unfold, but it starts with you first.
I love what you are saying because it's true. It's like when you decide, you say, okay, for the story that you just say, you say she decide to embrace. I am confident. I am 6 million energy, 1 million energy. Sorry. So it's like it's so true because sometimes people are telling, for example, my client telling me, oh, how you can show up every day because sometimes it's because I choose, I commit to the version of me that I know she is here, even if I don't see her right now. I commit. And people say, for me, it's like sometimes we are like, okay, I am hiding from my strategy in order to have like oh, I need to have this better content is for that I don't have that. And when you are doing, you are like, oh, if I do everything that this coach tell me, it will work for me. But sometimes it's not that. It's not that the way that you are doing the thing is the way that you show up, and it's the way that you embrace who you are and you become your own tool. Because sometimes people is like, oh, give me the strategy, and you give them, but they don't do it because they don't believe that it's possible for them. Because as you said, they don't embrace who they are and say, oh, I believe, I commit, and it's me. I will, what you say, put the alarm and say, yes, it's me. I am able to do that. And you show up at the best energy. People don't do that because they are tell us, oh no, it's not that. She needs to have a special secret sauce that you don't give me. But sometimes it's just to embrace who you are.
It's 100% to embrace who you are, because we could always put it off on someone else. Oh, it's because she's blonde, or oh, it's because she looks this way, or oh, it's because she's skinnier than me, or oh, it's because of that. You can say it for a million different things. I mean, how could Oprah could have used so many excuses? She could have said, I can't do this. There's no one that looks like me that has a,
Mhm.
a big talk show. There's no one that looks like me that does this. She could have used so many excuses. I came from this background. I didn't have to. No, she decided, okay, I want to do this. I want to do this talk show. I'm going to show up and do it. And
Mhm.
so you've got to give yourself the permission and decide that nothing externally, determines what your success is going to be. Like I decided I'm the bomb. I'm $10 million me. This is just who it is. I'm going to show up every single day. I don't need the 10 million in my bank account to tell me that's who I am. I'm showing up for, let's say we have a container of 30 women. I'm going to show up for those 30 women like they're 30,000 women, because I know that it could be what's going to happen along the way, or it could be that there's going to be another place that it's going to show up that way. But
Mhm.
you've got to choose that. And every single person you see succeeding, the 1% that's succeeding, it's because they've decided and they've decided and they've decided over and over again to show up for themselves. And so I ask you, if you're listening on this podcast, what are you giving your power away to? Like, have you decided I'm succeeding? I'm going to show up. And that means, like you said, behind the camera and when you're in front of the camera. So that means when you are with your friends and you're having conversation, are they the conversation of I win no matter what? Or
Mhm.
you're like, oh girl, today was so hard and I hate it. What conversation are you having? Because that conversation matters even more than the conversation you had online, because who you are when you're not on, when you're not creating content, matters way more than who you even are online. Because it's easy for me to turn it on for a live stream or turn it on while I'm with my clients. But if I'm not turning it on throughout my day and being that person that gets to be, that is successful, that's deciding that this is the way it is, that's showing up and deciding things work out for her in all occasions, then it's not going to unfold. So who are you being when no one is watching? Like, what are you talking about when no one is watching? What are you saying about yourself, your business? Are you like, I'm on fire when you're around people? And then when you're not around people, you're like, this isn't working. It sucks. Well, guess what's going to happen in your life? This isn't working. It sucks. Right. So that's what's so important. And that's why a lot of people, successful people, you'll have them, they'll say it in different ways. Maybe they're not saying manifestation, energetics. They're not saying that, but they're saying my mindset, or I had a morning routine, or whatever they want to call it. But it's them getting in the mindset of
Mhm.
I'm doing this no matter what, and I'm going to show up for myself no matter what.
No, it's so true. And what is very important is you need to happen. People need to think that sometimes you are thinking, oh, I don't have that because I have this problem. But when you will get, for example, your first 10K or your first 20K, or even your recurrent 20K, you will still have problem in your life. And sometimes it's not that you don't, it's not that you are thinking, oh, it's not working for me. It's because I have this problem. Because problem will come on every day. It's like it's alive, and you need to show up, as you say, like, yes, it's working for me. I have this problem. Oh, it's okay. The thing happen because for me, it's like sometimes the universe need to test you to say, are you really believe in you? Because it's not the money will solve all the problem, because it's for that sometimes people self-sabotage themselves because they're thinking, oh, if I have my first 10K or if I have 1,000, 2,000 followers, it will be more easier for me to sell or to show up. Or if I have this client, it will be so easier that I can buy this online coach offer. And I say, no, you need to show up right now, that you already have the queen of your scene. You have your show, your TV show is already there, and you show up every day, because problem will come even if you have more money. Problem will come even if you are more following. Problem will come even if you show up every day. But the difference is of the one that you say 1% coming to your life, and you have all the manifestation is working, and it's for that people, there are just few people have this transformation, which is to have a six-figure business and build an empire and have a legacy, is because they show up no matter what. They don't put their value, their worth with an amount of money or the amount of follower or the amount of something that is external validation. Because your first, for me, I say your first follower is you, your first love is you. Because first of all, you create your business for you and not just for helping other people.
That's so true.
Mm-hmm.
You are the leader, right? You go first. And you chose this career, whatever you chose. If you're an entrepreneur, you chose to be someone who goes first, someone who has an idea, and someone who's putting something into the marketplace, whatever that is, you know? And so when you decide that I'm creating something for the market, then you have to decide that that thing is the bee's knees. It's the most amazing thing. If you need to get it, like you've got to be the salesperson, the person who's going to be behind that thing. And you can't need evidence. You can't need proof. You've got to be the proof, be the magic, be the miracle. I always say, where the magic, where the miracle, where the proof, where the evidence, we get to decide that this is working for us and look for all the ways it is. And so, one exercise I want everyone that's listening, if you're like, how do I do this? Maybe some of you are in the beginning stages, and let's say you haven't gotten to that holy grail of the $10,000 month or whatever that is. What you get to do is stop looking at money as the only thing you get to celebrate, because celebration is the energy, it's the symphony of receiving. And when you're in appreciation mode, you are receiving more and more. And the more you can appreciate, the more you receive. And so if you have appreciation, that's the energy of receiving, and celebration is the symphony of it, the more you can celebrate, the more you'll start to see things are working and they're falling into place. And so what I want you to do is like, forget about the money, forget about that. I want you to celebrate every single thing that's happening. So every time you post, celebrate. Every time you show up for your audience, celebrate. Every time you get a like or a follow or whatever, it doesn't matter. Don't look at the engagement as validation, but look at it and celebrate whatever is happening. Celebrate it all. Celebrate when somebody comes into your DMs, and then celebrate when they ghost you, because every no gets to be celebrated as much as the yeses.
Yeah,
And
of
the
course.
more you can celebrate this, you bring this energy of it's working, it's falling into place. Yes, it is. I'm on the way. It's already happening. I'm on fire. And you become what? The momentum. And you're not
Mm.
waiting for something outside of you to become the momentum. You are the actual momentum. And so when you do that, nothing can stop you. Even if you had a bad day or something else happened with the family or things happened outside of your business, when you decide you're the momentum, you can always kick it up. You can always decide. You can always hype yourself up. You can always like do all the things to bring you into this gratitude, this appreciation vibration of like, it is working for me. This is falling into place, and I'm always in the right place at the right time. There are a couple of things that I say every day. Everything's working out for me and in my favor. I say, everyone goes out of their way to do nice things for me. I always say everything, even though if I don't even see how it's working for me, I just claim it. It's working for me. And so when I know that everything, a core belief that everything's working for me, even when things don't look like they're working for me, even when it doesn't look like sales are coming, I know that that's working out for me and it's working in my favor in some way. And so it's important for you to celebrate every single thing. Like get off this, celebrate that you were here, celebrate that you plugged into this kind of information. in this kind of energy and celebrate that. Like, celebrate that you put yourself here to be like, this is the message that I needed to hear. I'm so glad that she created this podcast. I'm so glad that I can binge it all day. Like, I'm so glad that I'm here and I'm doing this, and this is for me and for my business. That is something that gets to be celebrated.
No, it's so true. I feel like it's people thinking that we need to celebrate only the big thing, and it's not true. For example, when I say always to my clients and also for my follower, I say, I start my podcast, I have two podcasts. So I start my podcast with my phone. I don't have a mic. I just share what I want to share. It was not perfect because when I hear my first episode in French, I was like, oh my God. And the first month I have 60 people listen my podcast, and I was like, oh my God, people are listening to me, and I'm so proud. And even right now with this new podcast, I have people listening to my podcast. And at the beginning, I was like, oh no, I will not continue because my accent is not good, but I continue. And I celebrate every listener because I was thinking I am so lucky that people take time to listen what I want to share. And sometimes we are just focused on the data, but what I say and what you say behind a like, behind a save, behind a listener, even behind a ghost, there one person take time just to watch what you are doing. So it means that your message is touching people, and it means that you are building your empire. And this one is very important. And it's not because why now you don't have like what other coach tell you. It's not that. Is why now has say Michelle is working. Everything is working for you. And this one is so much important. Small things celebrate, because I feel like if we don't celebrate, we go to the story that is not working for me, or she has that is for that, or maybe I start too late. I need to start in 2020 and not right now. It's too late, or I am too old, too young, too big. No, no, you are perfect as you are, and everything is working for you, as say Christine.
Excuses. So many ways we can say this isn't working, or I don't look the way I need to look, or if I would have started in 2020, it would have been blowing up. Like, you can use whatever excuse you want. I've seen people start like last week and they're doing well. Like, you get to decide what your success is. And when you decide, I wrote this post the other day and I said, I decided to be successful and I decided to be where I am because I decided. And I started deciding when I was a young girl. I told my mom when I was 6 years old, I was going to be valedictorian of my school. I didn't know, how does a 6-year-old know that? Told her that I was going to move to New York, and I did. I told her that I was going to be in the beauty industry, and I did. Like, I decided that that's what the way it was going to be. When I was in fourth grade, I decided that, I get to stand out. I get to be the one. I get to, be the one that's the best of all the things. And I was, right? I decided when I was 18 that I decided that my article got to be printed, right, in the Times-Picayune, and it was talking about a certain topic that everybody had things to say about, and I decided that, right, 30 years ago when I was 18, I decided these things. And so I'm 48 at the time of this recording, and I decided what my life got to look like. I decided to be work at Coca-Cola. I decided that I got to work at Victoria's Secret. I decided that I got to be who I am. And when you decide, like, I didn't let anyone could have said, okay, so with Deloitte, I worked for Deloitte, and this was long time ago. I decided that I got to be one of 2 people that they selected that time out of the entire city of New Orleans. Like, I decided, right? I decided that that's what I was going to get. And I put the work in to do it. Yes. But I also decided. And so don't let anything else like determine what you get to have or make it. If you make excuses, congratulations. You decided it's not going to work. If you say it's not working, congratulations. You just manifested that. Like, I'm not going to tell you not to manifest that. Manifest what you want. But remember, life and death are in the power of your tongue. What do you want to create?
Yes, and what I like what you say is when you are shy, you decide that you will be famous. And for me, it's like manifestation is like you need to come back to your inner child and say, I believe that everything is possible for me. Because I know that life is going on. I know that sometimes you see the news is not good, but as you say, you have the power. You can just come back to inner child and say, it's possible for me. I decide to be famous. I decide to be an icon. I decide to be the number one. And it's possible. And what I like with your story, you say, I manifest to work on Coca-Cola. I manifest to do this. I manifest. I am. And it's true because sometimes we forget that we are thinking, oh, it's not working for me. Because no, you don't focus on me because maybe you think that it's not possible for you. Maybe you have 1% that you say, oh, it's not possible for me. And for that, is of course, the universe show you that it's not possible for you. But if you believe 100%, it will work for me. Even if you don't see the evidence, just come back to your inner child and say, when I was child, what I was thinking, you think that everything is possible. You don't think that, oh, it's not working because I don't have the money. You don't think that, oh, I don't want to work for that because I don't have that. No, you say, Mom, I want to do that. I want to be that. That's it. Just come back to inner child. You say, I am the prize. I am the one. I want to be an empire. Why is not possible for me? Is it possible for you? Because when you are a child, you say, I want to be famous. I want to be an icon. So come back to inner child and say, I want to be that.
Yes, yes. And I always say your desires are divine. They were placed inside of you by God, universe. I love to call sugar daddy with inside of you, right? You're connected to that, all that is energy. And so I say my desires are a GPS. It's telling me where I get to go and it is set in stone. I desire this. It's done, right? It's not about trying to figure it out. It's not about when is it going to happen. Like I have all the tools and all of the cool things about how you can like quantum leap and how things can happen quicker and all of that stuff. But the true real thing is you have a desire, know it's done. Be the person that already has the desire. And so, like, for example, this year, I came into this year saying $10 million me, right? This brand gets to become a $10 million brand. So that's 8-figure brand. This is who I am. What do I do to show up as 8-figure me? I'm not looking at a time frame to say it has to happen by December, or it has to happen in the next year, or it has to happen in the next 2 years. That's not my business. My business is for me to be that person that leads a $10 million brand and that knows that her brand, her audience is growing, like that she's speaking to the world. And so when you decide something and you say, okay, I have this desire, my desire is the GPS. I set the GPS to $10 million brand. The car, me, I have a Tesla. So me and the Tesla are driving on to Angel. We're on the way to $10 million brand. And that's all that matters. I'm just going to be that person along the way. And I don't need to wait until the $10 million brand is here before I decide and claim it, before I claim that this is becoming a $10 million brand, before I claim that I'm a woman that leads a brand that is becoming a unicorn, right? The $1 billion brand, right? You decide that, you become it. Because everything, like all of your steps, I have this process. It's called the PEV process, and it's called the personal energetic vibration. And that's how it's just logically to get your brain behind how you want to leap and how you shift your identity. And so when you look at your personal energetic vibration, it's made up of your thoughts, beliefs, your feelings, emotions, intentions, decisions, and your actions. And when you say, I'm going to create a $10 million brand, so I'm becoming the $10 million woman, then I need to think as her, believe as her. I need to intend, feel, like I need to also take actions and make decisions in alignment with that. And so it doesn't take it's not a big hoo-ha, like I need to figure this out and I've got to totally be perfect and to be that $10 million brand. No, it's saying, let me set myself up for success for this to unfold. When you do that, then you're quickly going to allow yourself to match the frequency of that, and then it unfolds in your life. You collapse time and it happens really fast. And that's why when you combine the things that we're doing here with the strategy, your content, bold messaging, conviction, all of that with the spiritual, and personal power and your superpower, and saying, okay, universe, God, source, surprise and delight me. I'm going to be the magic. I'm going to be the miracle. I'm trusting that this is happening. I know that this is done. all of those things. When you put those two together, that's why we're seeing a lot of women in our industry, and we're seeing people outside of our industry just have illogical results. They're having things happen really fast. It's because they're combining these two things together, because it's not just strategy. It's also not just energetics. It's the woo plus the do together, and then you can blow up.
I love what you say. You said so much many value right now. It's like, first of all, you say that you don't put a time. I feel like some people are so caught up to, I need to have uh, this amount of money before the summer or after December. And after they just stop to doing what they are doing because they are thinking it's not working and it's working. And what I love that you say is a process. And the second thing that you really say is that is very important. They say it's not just only the strategy, it's not just only the manifestation, because some people that say, okay, I am tired about the strategy and I will just focus on the manifestation. I feel, and for me, it's really that is you need to combine, because is that you will have the content leads that people is all talking about right now, that I just have a content lead. It's not just, oh, I visualize that I have $1 million. It's not just I will do all the strategy in order to, because as we say, all the strategy is working. There are people is doing million with Etsy shop. There are people doing million with doing with affiliate marketing. There are some people doing pay ads, there are million, but and there are people who is doing online coaches doing million. So it's not about the strategy, it's about really find what is working for you and embrace who you are. And I love what you say is very important.
Yes, yes, you've got to embrace who you are, and then you've got to move in alignment with that. And so, as a woman who has, I'll go back to that $10 million business example, then there were some things, there's some planning that I need to do, there's some projects and things that I get to put together, right? There's some strategy I've got to decide, like, okay, who do we have the space and the capacity for this type of thing? Because a lot of people, they like, oh, I want $1 million, right? Like, I want to manifest $1 million business. It's like, okay, yes, you will never come to me and I'll say no. But then I say, okay, you're going to manifest this $1 million business. Now, what is the business? What are you doing? What are the products? Like, what are your services? What does your offer suite look like? Like, or is this something you know how to do? Like, there's things that practically you need to put together in order to create easy pathways for the money to flow. And so it all works together. It really
Yes,
does.
it's so true. Because me, I take the example always is when you want to lose weight, there are different ways to lose weight. But if you choose way to show up at the gym and eat better, you don't need to eat clean, you will lose weight. But if you just, and you change your mindset, you say, okay, I will change the way that I will work around the food. So you will lose weight slowly, but you will lose weight. But if you are like, oh, I need to be, everything is perfect on Monday. If I just eat a chocolate, I need to start the next week, you will never lose weight because you are thinking, oh, I need to be perfect. And I feel like what we're saying with Christine is you don't need to be perfect. You don't need to find like a start meditation to have the perfect, uh, know what to do, but you just need to move in order to plan what you really want. You can also ask for help, and this one is very important because the power of coaching for me is very important. And also believe that, okay, it will take time. I will don't put a timer. I will say, I will move and I know that it will come. Because as you say, that I love the sentence that you just say, you become the momentum. And this one is so important because people are thinking, oh, I will wait the momentum because I will put this amount of content, so I will have the momentum. No, when you look at, for example, your favorite coach and you look at, you see, you can feel that when she will become a big next thing. You can feel that. You can look, even if you meet her later and you come back to their content, you can see, oh, she changed the energy because she knows that it will come very soon. You don't talk the same thing. She don't wear the same thing. She don't you can see. And when I say to my client and my follower is really to understand that sometimes it's not about, oh, I need to wait for the moment, I need to wait for the light. It's inside of you. You say, I know that it will come. I don't know when, but I know that I change. I know, I believe that the person of yesterday is not me anymore. I am not shy anymore. Yes, people can laugh at me, but I don't care because I know the truth. And you have this shift of energy. And for me, is that the counterclip? It's not just about the money. It's really when you shift or say, oh, I am in the game right now, no matter what.
You're so right. It's like that there's a pendulum. And
Mm-hmm.
so like let's say like there is swings, right? And so it's swinging. And right now, like maybe you're more on the left, right? You're a little shy and you're like, okay, but I'm going to start showing up. And soon when you start to come and you start to say, I'm the one, I'm showing up, I know what I'm doing, you can see and feel that energy shift to the other side. And you can feel when that becomes like just your default state. One of my clients, she was like, Christine, she was
Mm-hmm.
like, I haven't seen anything yet, but I just know. She's like, it's happening. I just know it's unfolding. Like it's done. And I was like, that is the state that you get to be in. You don't even have to do all of the, the alignment work, the affirmations or anything, because right now, I was like, just keep moving in this knowing feeling because it's done. It's going to be a few days and then she's going to start to see things blow up because she moved from that space here to it's already done. I had another client, she had $102,000 day. And I'll never forget, we were working on her like that $100,000 month. That was going to be her first
Mm-hmm.
$100,000 month. And it was in the month of December. And her sales actually went down. And
Mm-hmm.
she was just like, I know it's happening. I just know, we had done enough work. She was like, I know it's happening. It's happening. December 28th comes. And she's like, it's happening. It's happening. She didn't say, oh, it's only 3 days left and it's December and I haven't hit it yet. Nope. She was like, it's done. And so then I just kept getting messages after messages. Oh my goodness, someone signed up for my $40,000 package. Oh my goodness, somebody just signed up for the 10,000. Oh my goodness, blah, 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 blah. And end of the day, it was $102,000. So do you think if she would have given up or if she would have said, well, it hasn't happened yet, that it would have unfolded like that? No, she just
No.
felt that energy. She felt it done. And there wasn't anything she needed to even do at that moment except for just keep walking, take the phone calls that she got to take, talk to the people in the DMs, and sale, just flowing in. So this is so good. Remember this. Let's say I was at the gym this morning
Mm-hmm.
and I was looking at my tendency because I was doing these like uphill like walks and it was like and I was doing it for a minute at a time. And I was looking at my tendency to slow down when it got 5 seconds left. And I was like, nope, we're not doing that. And so I just pushed the way through the 5 seconds. Because how many times have you like pulled up and stopped, landed your plane, but when you're supposed to be coasting, like flying, because you're like, oh, it's December 22nd or it's, July 15th and I haven't done. No, stop looking at the time, stop looking at the date, stop looking at also all of these external factors to give you permission to believe that this month gets to be your biggest month ever. I don't care if it's June 11th. I don't
Mm-hmm.
care if it's, whatever. This month still gets to be the biggest month ever. It could be June 29th. This month gets to be your biggest month ever. Like you get to just have that energy of I decided it's done and it doesn't matter when because your next client, 5 of your next clients could come in your DMs on the 30th. Do you care that they didn't come on the first, second, third? No, they came on the 30th. You had $100,000 month. Doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm. It's so true. And what I like about your story is like, oh, even if your can say, oh, I have a decrease of sale, but I know it's happening. This one is really a big message shift because what I say to my client, before they come to me, they say, "Oh, I don't know if I want to sign up with you." For example, last year I have a client say, "I don't know, I want to sign up with you because it's summer, nobody buy." I say, "If you want to believe that, it's okay. Nobody buy." She come to me, and in one day she was 50 sales. She say, "Oh my God, it went so fast." I say, "Yes, because you believe in you, and you say, okay, maybe." I am wrong. You tell me I'm wrong. Yes, because if you believe that during the summer you don't have sale, you will don't have sale. People have the money. People are spending all the year. It's not just you know, you just need to believe that, as you say, you don't need to have a timeline and say, you know that is working because you are in your truth. So you're giving all the power, you're giving that, because you know that your dream client will listen and will calibrate with the same vibration of you. Because it's just initial energy. You say, I give you this. I know that I can help you. I am here no matter what. We can come the Monday, we can come on January or December. I will be still here. And they will sign up. But if you are like, I need to do now, I need to be now, now, they will see that the energy that you are in desperate mode, that you want money right now. And no, because as you say, the time doesn't matter because you know that it will come. So if the time doesn't matter, how I can show up, even if a 5 second when you are in the gym, how I can show up for the 5 second, but I show that no, I will still go because 5 seconds is nothing in the timeline.
Exactly. It's so really like you're listening to this. I want to ask, who are you in the last 5 seconds, right? Who are you in the last 2 days of the month? Like, who are you? Are you still showing up and saying this month is the best month ever? Or you're like, oh, I can't wait for the next month, right? No, show up every single day with the fullness of saying, this gets to be my best day. This day is going to blow my mind. I wake up every morning and I'm always like, universe, God, sugar daddy, how are you going to surprise and delight me today? My beautiful surprises, my beautiful delights. Like, how amazing does today get to be? How much more fun do I get to have? And the more you do that, the more fun I have, the more amazing delights I have, sales that were unexpected, clients out of the blue, because I open up with that. I decide that my day gets to get better and better and better every single day, every single month, every single year, better and better and better and better and better and better and better. So who are you in the last 5 seconds? Decide that. Don't just give up or slow down your walk in, run through the finish line. If you're thinking, I know the Olympics is happening, and so you have like the runners and they're running the 100-yard dash. They don't just say, oh, it's I'm at the last yard and they pull up. No, the ones who pull up lose. They run and lean into that finish line. What if you were doing that? What if you were going forward, going all in? I call it going beyond the beyond where your comfort zone. It's going to feel uncomfortable. You're going to be like, oh my goodness, maybe I'm tired. No, you're not tired. You're just pushing yourself beyond your edge, because guess what? The work that I did this morning and pushing myself beyond, it's going to be easy to get past, whatever minute, and then I'm going to have to go up to 2 minutes, right? To continue to move myself and push myself and grow and expand and allow my nervous system and allow my body to adjust. Who are you in the last 5 seconds? Ask yourself, am I being my most expanded me? Am I being $10 million me? Am I being, $100,000 me? Am I being $10,000 a month me? Am I being the one who's successful? Or am I slowing up and giving up and waiting for the next month? Waiting is not the devil's playground. Like, it is not where you want to be. Waiting is not for anybody. You want to move. The reason why you're in freeze, the reason why things aren't moving is because you're sitting there waiting. No more waiting. Decide and move. Decide and move.
Yeah.
And the more you do that, the more you'll see things.
No, it's so true. You need to, like you say, you need to decide to move, because people are just waiting. They just say, oh, I want to have a 10K month, but they do in the first month they are big energy, second week they do have big energy, and when they see nothing, they are like, oh, it's not working, so let's come back to change my strategy and everything. No, if it's not working, it's not that it's not working. It's just that you need to calibrate from your dream client, that they need to earn from you from 1 time again or 2 times again or 3 times again, and they will buy. But I feel like right now in the society we are so much focusing to have the instantaneous result, because right now we can just, if you want to have some sweet, we just go to the grocery. If you want to have a book, we just buy it from Amazon and we have the next day or the same day. But we are women. We don't work like that. We need to have time to, as I say to my client, is really, people need to have time to discover you, to trust you, to believe in you, and also see that you see their potential. because don't remember, you are not alone on the social media. But what is what is your differentiate from the other competitor is your story, is the way that you show up, is the way that you believe, that you talk to your dream client. Is not just about, oh, this is my offer. Yes, but if you're focusing on one offer, you are not. I'm sorry, but you are not the one to build an empire, because we are not focusing about empire. We are focusing to build a movement, and to build a movement, we need to move. Is the same? You need to move. You need to show up, and doesn't matter that it takes time, because at the end of the day, during your life, you will see. It was just a little.
Exactly. The I love that because it's like a blip on the radar. The challenge, I love always tell my clients, like, whatever challenge you're having, see that as a blip on the radar, because you're going to look back and be like, wow, I know why that happened, or I know I'm so glad it did because now I'm here, or something like that. Like, that's what gets to happen. And I also love what you talked about is it really isn't about like focusing on just where you want to go, right?
Mhm.
It's the bigger vision, the bigger movement. Why are you here? And I remember back when I started in online marketing years and years ago, it was saying, oh, people needed to see your work 7 times before they buy. Now it's up to like 30 times before
Yeah.
they buy, because there's a lot of competition, a lot of things that people are seeing that's competing for their focus. And so I had a client, she's like, I've been showing up every day. I'm like, girl, you just started talking about this like a couple of days ago. No one knows. Like, you might feel like you've talked about it so much, but the person that's seen it, they might have only seen it once, maybe, if they saw it. I said, you've got to talk about things over and over again. You've got to get repetitive. I mean, I worked for Coca-Cola. What do they say? Life is good. Like, they have these certain slogans that people know for life, like grab a Coke and a smile. Like, this, they said that over and over again, every single commercial, and they pay hundreds of thousands of dollars for these commercials, right? When you think about bigger brands and you get out of your head, because a lot of people are in their own head, they see their own social media and that's all they're focused on, instead of taking the big step back and just saying, I'm showing up because I'm creating a movement. That means repeating yourself. That means talking about what you're talking about over and over again. That means standing for whatever you stand for. I'm all about defying the odds, fame, fortune, and fulfillment, the woo and the do. Like, you're going to hear those things over and over and over and over and over and over again in my content, because that is what I do. Right. And I'm not going to be like, oh, well, I said it twice this week, so I'm going to give it up. Nope. I'm going to say it 30 more times this week, over and over and over and over and over again, because I know that that is what people need to hear in order to, like you said, know, like, and trust you. They want to get to know you. They want to know that you're the expert at what you're really talking about. Like, they want to know, like, hear from you and start to trust you and trust your word and trust that you can help them get from island A to island B, right? You can say, a lot of people can say things, but are you really going to be able to help them, walk them the path, help them, be that leader, be that guide, be that person that's going first as the example to help them get to where they want to go? In order to do that, you've got to show up every single day.
And we can do that parallelism with, as you say at the beginning, you say, oh, is that the same that you need to put an alarm to have the 1 million energy? It's the same thing, because people are thinking, oh, I just put there and people will see. But the only person that see all your content is you. The only person that sees that, oh, you do the manifestation during the morning is you. The only person that will set an alarm that will tell you, oh, you need to come back your 1 million energy is you. So yes, you can have like people telling you that, oh, you're doing too much. No, you are not doing too much. You are just doing you. So as you say, you need to repeat 20 times, 30 times. It's like your dream client will doesn't matter, because she need to have this amount in order to calibrate with you. And sometimes people are telling me, oh, but I don't want to disrupt my audience. So I say, but if you disrupt them, it's not your dream audience. So say thank you. Say thank you, because they will never buy from you. So thank you so much. Bye bye.
Right.
Thank you for your time, and bye bye. And this one is like, as you said at the beginning, you need to become your own momentum, decide what is your own role. And this one, as you say, you need to repeat and repeat. And I feel like it's the same that you need to repeat yourself all the days that you are a million energy, you will have everything as you want, you are the queen, everything is working for you because, as we said at the beginning, nobody will give you what you want except you. And this one, what I like with this episode that we did together is really about embrace who you are and believe that is possible for you and believe that your inner child say, hey, I want to be famous, so it will working. You just don't listen to listen your inner child. Because I feel like sometimes we are thinking, oh, this algorithm is not working, algorithm is changed, but do you see that the person changed the algorithm? No, you don't see that. Oh, people tell you that your content is not good. Maybe it's not good for them, but maybe it's good for your dream client because not all the content is meant to have a good amount of like. So sometimes it's like, I believe that it's good for my dream client to have this type of topic because I know that I am the one, as you say. I create my own momentum. I move. I don't need to be perfect. I move because the frequency of my client need to connect with me. And this one I love about that.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. That was a great like wrap up of what we talked about because like you said, I am my own momentum. And you can have any strategy and every strategy that you feel aligned with is going to work when you stand behind it, when you decide it's going to work, and when you do the things that you need to do in alignment with that. And so when you can combine that woo plus that do, so the woo, the spiritual, the manifestation, the energetics, the deciding you're the one, the mindset work, the, you know, letting yourself like feel whatever feelings are coming up and then still moving, still deciding, not using excuses of, oh, it's my moon time, or oh, I'm not going to do it because it's Mercury in retrograde, or all of those stupid excuses that we like to use to stop ourselves from actually showing up in our business. When you don't allow those things to rule your world, I mean, you decide that I'm going to show up because I decided to, because that's just who I do. That's, I am, $10 million me, she shows up in her business. That's just who she is. She's a saleswoman. She's a marketer. She's a spiritual healer. She's a psychic channel. She's all of these things all together. That's just who I am. Then you show up in a different way when you decide that that's who you are. And when you can put that together with the beautiful strategy, with great content, with conviction behind that content, because you can have the best content, but if you have no energy behind it, it's not going to work. There's just so many ways. That's why I say it just works both together. They're consolidated. You can't have the woo without the do, and you can't have the do without the woo because it's all moving.
Nice, so true. So if we want to work with you, so how we can connect you? Do you have an offer? Because we want to have all the jam. So tell me.
I love that. Thank you so much. Well, first, the best way to find me is on Instagram. I am at I.am.thealignedsoul, and I'll send you the link for the show notes. So you can find me there. I also have a entry level, I like to call it, it's like a home space for everyone that enters in the Aligned Soul world, and it's called the Be Collective. It's $111 a month, and we do a lot of fun things. You get the basics for the business, but you really get a lot of the manifestation piece to manifest your successful business, the woo plus the do. And also, I have a mastermind, which is called Quantum Queen, which is a year-long commitment where you show up for yourself. We talk about content. I help you write all the things. We do all of that side, but the most important thing we talk about is leadership, self-leadership, showing up in your business, having that superpower, the spiritual power plus the personal power, because that's the biggest thing that I've seen my clients we've generated over $7 million in the last few years. That is what helps you move forward. So you can find me on Instagram or check out my podcast, the Woo and the Do podcast. It's called The Aligned Soul, Woo and the Do podcast. That's where I do lots of podcasts similar to what you do. And it's just, there's lots of ways to get in my world.
I will put everything down below. I love all your offers. So if you want to jump, just go. If you really want to know everything about the leadership, the manifestation, and also how to show up as you are in order to scale your business, go to the world of Christine. It's very beautiful. You will love all the energy. I love all the posts. So just go. I will put everything on my Substack. You will see on my YouTube. So you will find everything that you can just click. You have no excuse. So make the move.
Thank you so much for having me. This was so fun.
So to conclude this episode, do you have a word to wrap up this episode?
Yes, I one thing that I want to end this with is the most important thing is that you decide, like the decision, decide that you get to be successful. And even if you don't fully believe it yet, just start to take little steps in the direction of where you want to go. Just say, okay, I decided. And that girl Christine says, when I decide, it's done. And she also says that my desires are divine and they're a roadmap. And so once you do that, set the GPS to where you know you're going. Forget about the time frame, forget about all of the external factors, forget about circumstances, and just decide that this is what I'm going to do. And so don't look at external validation. Be your own hype woman. Like, I did it. I showed up. I decided this is it. I did my post. I did my live stream. I posted on YouTube. I did all the things. And I'm trusting that God, universe, source is doing its thing and blowing this up in ways that I could have never imagined, that it gets to be bigger and better than I could ever imagine. When you can combine those two things together, you will see success. It is inevitable. It is inevitable. But it starts with your decision and your movement forward, and then the trust that you are being met and supported in ways that you can't see, smell, hear, taste, touch.
I love that. I love. So thank you so much to be my guest. It was an amazing moment. I will love this episode. I feel like there's so much value. So as I say, don't just listen, but apply everything that we say. And if you want to have more advice from Christine, just go check her offer and her Instagram. She will be happy to have you in her world. And thanks so much. So much, so much. I really love everything that you say. I really love your work. So I love everything.
Thank you so much. This was so fun.
And don't forget to be on too.